Welcome to the folk party, pal. That's right, I did say folk and not fuck. That's another kind of party that's only on Patreon. You'll have to check that out. It's really, really crazy over there. Anyway, today we are talking folk horror. As a matter of fact, we're almost done talking about folk horror. This is part 11? Jesus Christ. 11. Disc 11 of the All the Haunts Be Ours box set. Is it disc 11? I think it is. Honestly, I've lost count at this point. Basically, we're almost done with this. We're going to be talking about 2 more movies. Today, we're talking British horror. I mean, technically, yeah, I guess Anchoress is British. I think it might be something else. But anyway, British-ish. Talking A Field in England by director Ben Wheatley and Anchoress by director Chris Newby. One of these is really great, and one of these is painfully boring. Actually, both of them are a little boring, but I'll get into details right after this.
Back from the dead.
I wasn't losing my mind. It is disc 11. I knew it was part 11. I just didn't know if the discs racked up. But I'm good. I'm good. I was thrown off by the Shaw Brothers situation. Anyway, long story short, disc 11, 2 movies. Let's start with A Field in England. Now, this is a fairly popular movie. I've never seen it before. It just never interested me. I felt like I wouldn't really like this movie. And, I should always trust my instincts because they're almost always correct. Yeah, almost always correct. Let's talk about the plot. A Field in England runs 90 minutes. From Ben Wheatley comes a black and white film filled with what the fuck moments. I intensely dislike when a movie makes me feel like I've missed something and it just fucking started. To me, this movie feels like I just walked in on a TV series that's 5 episodes deep. And again, just like Dark Waters, we have another movie where I can't necessarily tell you what the hell it's about because its true essence eludes me. On the surface, it appears to be about a bunch of soldiers running away from a war and running into a strange man in a field who is looking for treasure. At least that's what I took from it, and honestly, I may be completely wrong. To be honest, I actually had to look up YouTube videos explaining the movie to even understand that much. And apparently it also has something to do with alchemists, but you could have fooled me. Needless to say, this movie did not hit the sweet spot for me, despite it looking fantastic and having a wonderful aura about it. Honestly, it reminded me of a similar film titled It's Hard to Be a God, a Russian black and white film that runs over 3 hours and is spiritually similar to this film, but while that movie worked for me, this one did not. Both films don't make any sense, but It's Hard to Be a God had some form of magic that just hooked me, whereas A Field in England left me cold and confused. I really disliked the use of tableau, and scenes of people getting high and tripping out just never work for me, and I find completely uninteresting. I prefer Ben Wheatley's more recent work, In the Earth. That's a really good one. I recommend that one if you're looking for folklore from Ben Wheatley. I know, this movie has a lot of love, and just like something like Dark Water, where there's a lot of people defending it, we like what we like. We can't all like the same thing. If A Field in England is your favorite movie, like Kila Janice, the person responsible for this entire box set, she considers that one of her favorite movies of all time. I mean, I don't want to speak for her, but I think she said it was her favorite movie of all time. I might be mistaken, but I get it. If it speaks to you, it speaks to you. There's a lot of movies I love that no one would ever understand why I would care about them. But it is what it is. The movie just didn't hit for me. I felt it was so obtuse and obscure and so out of left field that instead of wanting me to explore it and man, I gotta watch this again. I want to piece this apart. I want to unwrap this like a present and really get to the meat of what's going on here. The movie just didn't inspire me to do that. As a matter of fact, in the special features, which here's an excellent segue, in the special features, Ben Wheatley himself says he didn't know what the fuck the movie was about when he was shooting it. So, case closed? Let's talk about those special features. Here you get a commentary with Ben, a producer, and the sound designer, which is all focused on technical behind-the-scenes stuff and offers no answers as to what the hell is happening in the movie, which I found kind of disappointing. I listened to the commentary hoping to piece out an explanation, at least sort of a clear path as to what is happening on screen, but the fucking producers and the director did not offer it. Next, you get a 6-minute discussion with the composer and Ben Wheatley on the music, followed by something called Letterbox Magic Hour, which is a 46-minute Zoom interview with Keira Janice, as I mentioned before, and Ben Wheatley, and it touches on A Field in England, but also I think focuses mainly on In the Earth, which, like I said, is a better movie. Then you get a 22-minute featurette with Pete Toombs interviewing Ben. They discuss the film, and just for shits and giggles, it's in black and white. Lastly, you get 2 trailers and 10 minutes of camera tests, and you can just go ahead and skip all that shit. On the Severance podcast discussing this box set, Andrew Furtado mentioned that he had seen the movie at a screening here in LA, and everybody had been given edibles. Now, if a movie needs you to be high for you to enjoy it, then for me, it doesn't work as a piece of art. It should stand on its own whether you are chemically affected or not. If somebody says, oh man, just open up a couple beers and enjoy. No. If it needs me to be enhanced, then I think the movie has failed you, and so has the filmmaker. Now, I'm not going to go as far as say that this is a movie that has failed me. I think it's an interesting film. It looks great. It's a fantastic-looking film. I think the actors are really great. There's some really epic moments in this. If you've seen the movie, you know what I mean. When he walks out of the tent, it doesn't make any fucking sense. I don't know why he's doing it, but it's epic, and it's really freaky. But to me, there's just not enough here for me to latch on to. 2 stars. I don't think I will ever watch this again. I never want to sit through this experience again. Sadly, I really wanted to love it. But one thing that really surprised me about this disc is our next movie. That is Anchoress. Oh baby! Here's another black and white movie. Super slow, longer than A Field in England, but way better. And why? Because it tells us a satisfying narrative. Easy, right? Let's talk about the plot. Anchoress runs 1 hour and 48 minutes. While longer and slower paced than A Field in England, I ended up loving this movie so much more. This is the remarkably sad and tragic story of Christine Carpenter, who decided to dedicate her life to the Virgin Mary the old-fashioned way. What does that mean? Well, she is to become an anchor at a small church, which means she's to be walled up in a super small room and live there for her entire life. And that's going to be a long time because Christine, at the start of this, is a young girl. I don't think they specify, but I think she's definitely a teenager or at least in her early 20s. This is a remarkable film that is expertly photographed, and while it has a glacial pace, it delivers an unparalleled experience. Natalie Morse is fantastic in the lead role, and it's nice to see a director, Chris Newby, really thinking outside the box, but also giving us a cohesive, easy-to-follow narrative that satisfies the basic tenets of storytelling while still delivering a unique experience. Look, it's super slow, and it's not going to be for everybody. As a matter of fact, I think most people will probably check out and not want to finish the film, but it is a very wonderful and rewarding cinematic experience, in my opinion, because it's not some frou-frou bullshit. Anchoress is a real fucking movie. We get a beginning, middle, and end. Hooray! Oh my god. Now you might say, I enjoy formulaic stuff. Yeah, everybody does. You do too. This movie delivers that, like I said, basic tenet of storytelling. A full, fleshed out story. But it's not without its David Lynchian, what the fuckery and kind of crazy, slow shit and boring stuff that I think a lot of people go, oh god, this is boring and dull as fuck. What the hell's going on here? I'm out. But don't do that. Watch the movie. It's worth your time. I mean, it's less than 2 hours. It'll probably feel longer to some people, but it's really damn good. As a matter of fact, it's so true to life that only the ending is really what departs from the true story, Christine's true story, which is honestly not even touched upon here. I wish there was a featurette about the actual Anchoress. It's based on a true story. And I kind of wish we'd gotten a little featurette about that. We'll talk about the special features in a moment. But before we talk about that, I want to let you know that this, for me, is a 4-star movie. That's right. Anchoress, 4 stars. I loved it. I was really blown away with it. I mean, this is like right up there with Il Demonio. Is another really wonderful surprise from this box set. This is the kind of stuff I wanted to find. Anchoress. Fantastic stuff. Speaking of art delivered well, let's talk about the special features because they're all directed by the director himself and they're all very unique. You get 2 featurettes here. The first one is Lockdown 1329. This is a 13-minute featurette on the making of the film, directed in a unique way by the film's director, Chris Newby. It is almost making a parallel to the pandemic and the lockdown situations that we all faced. Very interesting, and probably the most unique behind-the-scenes making of featurette I've ever seen in my life. Next up is A Short Trip to Sheer. It is a 2-minute travel log that visits the church where Christine Carpenter was locked up, and it's quite peaceful. If you're a fan of ASMR, you're going to really love these 2 minutes. Also, if you're a fan of rainy weather, you're going to find this one quite lovely and relaxing. There's no narration or anything. It's just kind of a silent trip to the countryside to, show you what the church looks like now. There you go, baby feet. Short and sweet. Can't be beat. Disc 11. One more disc. One more disc left. Oh, my God. One more disc and we're done. We're done. We started this in January. If you remember, episode 1 is when I was on vacation with my family up in Lake Arrowhead here in California with snowy backgrounds and everything. I had a fireplace behind me. And now here we are, almost into March. The last episode will actually be March 2nd. No, it'll be deeper than to March. So we'll basically be at the beginning of March. It took me 3 months to get through this box set. I don't know if you finished it already or if you're still working through it yourself, but I'm curious. Let me know in the comments down below. Okay, there you go. Those are my thoughts on Disc 11. I love you very much. Take care of yourself. You see that over there? If you do me the favor and subscribe if you haven't already. Gosh, what an honor and a pleasure it would be for me to make that happen. I'm trying, if possible, to get to 2,500 by halfway to Black Friday. May is it? Yeah. If we can make that happen, that'd be fan-fucking-tastic. I would love to see you again. Drop me a thumbs up on your way out the door. For now, signing off. Until we meet again, take care.